A potential breakthrough or a diplomatic standoff dressed as an invitation. Russia says it is ready for direct talks between Presidents Vladimir Putin and Zelensky, but only on Moscow's terms. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said Ukraine's president must travel to Moscow if he wants a face-to-face meeting with Vladimir Putin.
I would like to say a few words concerning his recent statement that President Zelensky is prepared to meet with the President of Russia. Well, this particular issue is certainly not a new one for us. It has incidentally been discussed on quite a few occasions during the course of various telephone contacts between our President, Mr. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, and the President of the United States, Mr. Trump. And in the course of these very discussions, Trump in particular was suggesting to us, that we should really consider such a possibility. And our approach, it seems, is quite logical. And Vladimir Vladimirovich, on several occasions, when he spoke with journalists, touched upon this very topic. And the essence of this approach is that we have never refused and are not refusing such contacts. The most important thing is that these contacts are thoroughly prepared, that's the first point. And secondly, that they are specifically oriented towards achieving concrete positive results. And our president, on several occasions while speaking with journalists, has also stated that if President Zelensky is truly prepared for a meeting, then we kindly invite him to Moscow, and we will absolutely guarantee his safety and provide all the necessary conditions for his work.
Ushakov insisted Russia has never refused direct contact and claimed Moscow would guarantee Zelensky's security and working conditions. The remarks follow Ukraine's push for high-level talks, with Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiga saying Zelensky is ready to meet Putin to resolve two core issues: territorial disputes and the future of the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The exchange comes as diplomacy accelerates, with Ukraine, Russia, and the United States re-engaging under President Donald Trump's renewed push to end the war. Another round of talks is expected on February 1st. A senior U.S. official has suggested a direct Zelensky-Putin meeting, which will possibly involve Trump, is now within reach. "I don't think we're so far away from that," the official said. But history suggests caution. Moscow has repeatedly sidestepped such meetings. In 2025, Zelensky invited Putin to Istanbul for three-way talks with Trump. Putin declined and sent a low-level delegation instead. Later, after meeting Putin in Alaska, Trump said he was working to bring the two leaders together, a claim the Kremlin later denied. Trump has also said Putin avoids Zelensky because, quote, he doesn't like him. In a reversal last fall, Putin invited Zelensky to Moscow, an offer Zelensky rejected, insisting any talks should take place in Kyiv. The two leaders last met in person in Paris in December 2019. Since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, direct talks have remained frozen until now. Whether this latest offer signals real movement toward peace or another diplomatic dead end remains to be seen.
Russian drones and missiles tore across Ukraine overnight, killing civilians, shattering homes, and deepening fears, just days before fresh peace talks are set to resume. Near Kyiv, a man and a woman were killed when a drone struck a residential building in the Bielogradka community on the outskirts of the capital. Their 4-year-old daughter survived, pulled from the burning apartment as flames spread through the building. 4 others, including 2 children, were treated for injuries. Reports described rescuing the child amid chaos and fire. Holding the crying 4-year-old, the neighbors realized her mother was already dead, a moment he called the most painful of his decade covering the war. Ukraine's Air Force says Russia launched 1 Iskander-M ballistic missile and 146 drones overnight. Air defenses intercepted 103 drones, but at least 36 drones and the missiles struck 22 locations across the country. In Kyiv, a 17-story residential building was damaged, with shattered windows and a fire breaking out on the roof. Drone debris also fell in the Holosivsky district, damaging another residential block. Further strikes hit Odessa, Zaporizhzhia, Kryvyi Rih, and Mykolaiv. In Zaporizhzhia, rockets struck residential areas, injuring at least 6 people and damaging multiple apartment buildings and vehicles. In Kryvyi Rih, a ballistic missile injured 2 civilians and struck an infrastructure facility. In Odessa, already observing a day of mourning after a deadly strike earlier this week, another attack injured 3 men and damaged religious sites, including the Holy Dormation Monastery. Ukraine's Seaports Authority confirmed that the Black Sea port of Pivdeny was attacked, but continues operating. Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Kuleba said the strikes damaged manufacturing facilities, hangars, and a locomotive, triggering fires that were later contained. President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attacks, calling them terrorism and vowing a response. The strikes follow a deadly drone attack on a passenger train in northeastern Ukraine that killed 5 people just a day earlier. The escalation comes despite U.S.-brokered peace talks held last week in Abu Dhabi, with another round expected this weekend. Russia has not commented on the latest attacks. As the war nears its 4th year, Ukraine faces intensifying winter strikes, widespread power outages, and mounting civilian suffering, even as diplomatic efforts struggle to gain ground.